Hi, Judy from Witchpeace Craft. Welcome. This video is a little different. The taboo subject for Movember, men's health. Starting a conversation about men's health. This came about for me because I had some funds left over from my November market that I wanted to donate, and my nephew on Thing's side of the family in Western Australia is fundraising for Movember. It is coming to an end, but he's been fundraising. So what is Movember? During the month of Movember, annually, men are encouraged to grow a moustache and fundraise for men's health. Not just physical health, cancer, but mental health. Everything to do with men's health. And he's doing that with a group of guys, and he's growing a mo. Now, Movember is, it's an Australian and English term for mustache, and November. So a mustache is a mo, and November, and we have Movember. Reeves has done it in the past. He's grown a mustache and fundraised through his workplace. And it is fun. You can be a Mo's sister. You can have a party and all wear fake Mo's. And yes, you're encouraged to fundraise. So I had this little bit of money left over, and I wanted him to reach his target. So I donated the rest of my May profit to his Movember fundraising. And I wish him well. He's nearly at his target he set. So today in this video, I thought I would showcase and shout out some of our male content creators, knitting, crochet, what have you, that I watch. I don't always comment on their channel. I don't always let them know I'm there, but I definitely always give a thumbs up for the time they put in, the effort, and I enjoy their content. Now this year, this is 10 of them I have watched, no particular order, and how they came about that I was watching. I'm sure there are others out there. So if you know of any that you would like to recommend to me, please leave a comment below with a link so I can check them out. So let's get started and shout out some of our male content providers for Movember. So first off the list is because I have a finished object, pattern designed by a male. So it came about because I was watching Stuart at the Wool Patch. Now he has a bricks and mortar yarn shop in the UK that I hope to visit next year. Now I know it's there. And he is going to do a window display for Christmas. And he is going to make it look like Christmas trees or Christmas trees. And he wanted everyone to knit a Chianti Cardi and put it on. He would put it on wine bottles. He's got the village collecting wine bottles for him, and his display would be Chianti Cardis. There's mine. I've wrinkled him up. I have knitted one. You send them to the UK, and he will put them on wine bottles. Look, then mine's never going to get there in time. But I decided for my December market, I would have a section on my stall that had stocking fillers, and my Chianti Cardi will be in that section for sale as a stocking filler. Now the pattern isn't by a male. Jimmy does knitting. He designed the Chianti Cardi, and he gave discount. It's on Ravelry. He also has a YouTube channel that I've checked out and enjoyed. This is an awesome little pattern. It's not something I thought I would ever consider making. I have seen other wine bottle cozies, but they've never appealed. But this one does. I think it's just because it looks like a cardi or cardigan. Now the pattern is really well laid out, and he does give you different options. Like, I'm just turning to it so I can remember. You can make moss stitch, seed stitch, or you can cable your cardi. I did moss stitch, not something I enjoy, and it is knitted in a 4-ply yarn, which is fingering weight. And then you sew on some decorative buttons. These are my buttons that my friend Ulia gave me that I thought were really cute. The only thing I changed was he does a 1x1 rib, and I really hate 1x1 rib with really fine, like 4-ply yarn or fingering weight, so I did 2x2 down the bottom and up the top. It is knitted in the round, but he has now adjusted the pattern so you can knit it in the flat. You could also do it in DK yarn, but you might need to contact Stuart at the Wool Patch to find out how. I used Panda Miracle 4-ply anti-pilling acrylic. It took 25 grams of yarn. The reason I like this is if you go somewhere with a bottle of wine, you can put a Cardi on it rather than a paper bag. And to be honest, this cost me less than a wine bottle paper bag to make, and it looks much nicer. I really like it. I mean, it turned out really nice. It's the only bottle of wine that I have that's empty because I used it for cooking, because we don't drink wine. My boss gives me a bottle of wine every year, and it gets, you know, or for different things. Even though he knows I don't drink, but I use it. It was white wine I used for cooking. So that is a pattern available on Ravelry, the Chianti Cardi. I highly recommend it. I love doing it, and I certainly, even though it was fine, I enjoyed knitting it in the round. So they're my first 2 shout outs. Jimmy Does Knitting, YouTube and Ravelry. Stuart at the Wool Patch. Yeah, I like his channel because he also does like the top 10 crochet and top 10 knitting patterns for the week. I love looking at those, and I enjoy seeing his content. He did the Olympia hens. I didn't know about that, where they did the emotional support hens in your country colours, and you sent them to him and he auctioned them off for charity and raised quite a bit of money. I came across him because of the next guy. Now, I'm going to need my glasses because I'll forget. This is an old favourite. Not that he's old. He's an Aussie living in Canada, and I've watched him for a very long time, from when he first started out. Gary of Urban Yarn. He is such a talent, such great knitting skills, crochet skills. But for me, it'd have to be his colour combination, his choices. He's just amazing. He's got an amazing eye for colour. I enjoy doing his mood board mouths. We've just finished the fall one. I hope he does one for winter because it inspires me. I do step out of my comfort zone a bit by thinking more about the project, and I do really enjoy them. And yes, please check out Gary at Urban Yarn. Next on the list, I came across this guy through Hooker versus Hooker with Laura at Mad Mimi's Farming and Crochet and Jan the Alaskan Crafter. I may have seen him a bit before, but it never really registered till he took part in Hooker versus Hooker. Won the Yarn Addict. I enjoy watching his lives with his mother Wilma. They're hilarious. They make me laugh, and they're so talented. I like watching his vintage yarns that he collects. I love vintage yarn, and we don't get a lot of it here, but he does do an amazing job. He's also part of the Boggy Creek Blanket Brigade, and hats off to him, because that's going to be a lot of work on top of his channel, looking after his mum and working and taking care of his own health, because I think in some videos he's talked about his health. So there you go. Men's health, our content creators. Next on the list is another old favorite. Look, I make a lot of blankets for charity, and often I go, oh, I don't know what to do next, what pattern. Well, my go-to is Fiber Spider. It has some great tutorials, not just blankets, but if I need inspiration for a blanket, I will check out his channel. Or if I have yarn that I think he's used, I'll go and have a look. Because sometimes I go, I don't know if that'll look okay in a blanket, especially the variegators. But he is very talented, and I do enjoy his channel. Now this is a new young guy I've come across since doing plushy amigurumis. He popped up on my feed. I did do a brontosaurus that didn't turn out too well, and he does have a tutorial for a brontosaurus. His name is Zach. I think part of his heading is I love my grandma hobbies. Excuse me, nervous hiccups. But he does do plushy amigurumis, and I do enjoy his channel. So yes, make sure you check out Zach if you do amigurumis. This is another amigurumi guy. He's been around a while. He's Australian. He does an amazing job. Now I'm starting out with plushies that are no-sew. I have enough trouble trying to crochet the plushy yarn without having to sew it together. But he does some amazing patterns. He develops some amazing patterns. It is Crochet Me Zaddy. He just, I don't know, he has a great channel. He does some great pattern releases. I haven't bought any yet because they're a little bit more involved than I'm ready for, but I've no doubt they're on my bucket list for the future. Now this is another guy I came across alive through to do with Mad Mimi, Laura. Again, he was in a live and I went out to check out his channel because he does Tunisian crochet. MLD Crochet Michael. Now, I've always said I've got this really nice Tunisian crochet kit that I hardly use, and I'd like to learn more to do it. And every time I do a bit or do it with someone, it never quite works out and I get disillusioned. But I've been watching some of his tutorials and different things on his channel, and in 2025 he might be my go-to teacher, content creator, to help me improve my skills with Tunisian crochet. So make sure if you're into Tunisian crochet, you check out MLD Crochet Michael. Now, of course, there's Ani and Carlos for knitting. The most amazing knitting patterns. Just everything. I generally watch them around this time of year because they're at Advent knitting, their stocking patterns. I do enjoy their thrift shopping and their general banter. They are two great guys to go and watch, especially if you're into knitting. Now, last but not least, of course, Stephen West. I've came across him through different conversations in our Yarny community, and I did some of his workshops. I have improved my knitting skills no end. I have learned so much from him and still learning. And he's another one that does amazing things with colors that I wouldn't even dream of putting together. But he has taken me out of my comfort zone with my knitting skills and color combinations. And although I haven't done a lot, I am really impressed with his talent. I was fortunate enough last year to go to Amsterdam and visit the Stephen and Penelope shop and buy some yarn. Such lovely people in the shop and such beautiful yarn. Really had a great couple of hours there shopping and talking. I did do I think stage 1 of the 2023 mail, but because of the controversy and what have you, I did the updated version. I sort of got disillusioned and it's sitting there in my whip wall of shame or basket of shame. I do plan to either do it or frog it and start with something new. I don't know. The yarn I bought was from Stephen and Penelope shop and was quite expensive, so I have to make sure I really like it. He does do a lot of shawls. I'm not big on shawls, but I have made other things. One of the things I made last Christmas was a dog coat for my son and his partner in London, the French Bulldog. It was a dog coat for a French Bulldog, and it fitted Brit Slander, weird name for a dog, really well. He's a beautiful dog, so well behaved, so well traveled. And yes, there were photos how he's feeling the cold at the moment because it's very cold in London, and I think they're going to have to start breaking out the dog coat. But yes, it was made in Bendigo Woolen Mills pure wool, and it had been over dyed by an indie dyer, but he does look pretty cute in it. So that was his Christmas present last year. So there you have it, guys. thinking about our male content creators in Movember and hoping we start a conversation about men's health. It's not just cancer or other things, it can also be their mental health. I lost a brother to suicide, and I do have a large male content in my family. I had 6 brothers. I have 2 sons and a husband and a lot of nephews. So yes, and not all of them will talk about their health. Unfortunate thing is very open about his health. He's having some problems at the moment, nothing serious. Just he's hit 70 and he said everything's starting to fall apart. We've had a lot of medical appointments and they're time consuming and irritating, but they're really important to get into. I had through my work, there was this awesome guy, so nice, did so much for our community and business and employment, and just absolutely amazing. And he died of bowel cancer because he didn't get it checked out. And if bowel cancer is checked out early, it can be cured. So make sure, ladies, you talk to the men in your life about their health and how they're feeling. Make them go to the doctor, drag them to the doctor if you have to. My brother's suicide was out of the blue. None of us knew he was struggling. So it's all right to ask them, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Do you want to talk? Or maybe get them to talk to each other, because often they're more comfortable talking to their peers. Anyway, Movember is a really important month. I've done a fundraiser or make-along a few years back where I made it mauve, the colour Movember, but it got quite confusing for people in the Northern Hemisphere because they weren't quite sure what the colour mauve was. But we did have some fun, and it was a great make-along because we do Pink October for breast cancer or women's health awareness, and we do Movember for men's health awareness. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed the video. It is a little different. I hope you check out Jimmy's Chianti Cardi and consider making it as a gift for someone, or just for when you're popping over with a bottle of wine. It really is an awesome little project. I really enjoyed knitting it. I really did. And I've looked at a lot of crochet ones that didn't really do it for me. So until next time, stay safe, stay well, and make sure you have a conversation with the men in your life about their health and their mental health. Bye for now.